Hello and welcome to this video on the top 10 worst places to live in. Moving to a new place can be an exciting experience, but it's important to make sure you're choosing the right location for you and your family. That's why we've compiled a list of the worst places to live in for expats based on a variety of factors, including crime rates, cost of living, job opportunities, and overall quality of life. Before we get into our list, I want to mention that everyone's experiences are different, and what may be a terrible place to live for one person may be the perfect fit for someone else. So, always do your own research before making any big decisions. Internations conducted a poll of nearly 12,000 expats residing in 181 different nations. Foreign assignees, international hires, and people who moved abroad to hunt for work were all included in the poll of expats. The poll was initially carried out in 2014. 52 locations were ranked this year by the Internations poll based on their general livability, as well as their quality of life, ease of relocation, availability of employment abroad, personal finances, and amenities for expats. The best place for expats to live in is Valencia, a port city in Spain. According to Internations, the affordability of public transit and how safe they felt in the city were the two things that stood out to the foreigners questioned. However, 6 out of the 10 cities with the lowest rankings were located in Europe. There were also 3 cities, 1 in North America, 1 in Africa, and 2 in Asia. To learn which cities are the worst in the world for expats to live in, keep watching this video. 10. Rome, Italy. One of the 2 Italian cities to make Internations list of the worst cities is Rome, the country's capital. Dealing with local authorities is challenging, according to a survey by Internations, which also found that 50% of respondents have a poor opinion of online administrative and governmental services. Additionally, more than 30% expressed anxiety about the Italian economy. While Italian government bureaucracy might be annoying, there are some benefits to it, according to Internations City Guide. The majority of foreign nationals living in Rome who have a valid visa, resident permit, or residence certificate are entitled to the same free public health care as Italian citizens. 9. Tokyo, Japan. One of the most well-liked places for foreigners to relocate is Tokyo, the capital of Japan. However, some foreigners believe that the city's working conditions may be better. Over 60% of those polled felt the local corporate culture impeded creativity, while 25% of respondents stated they were dissatisfied with their working hours, 30% with the work-life balance, and 25% with their working hours. The work atmosphere in Japan, according to a U.S. expat, is a bit closed off to fresh ideas. The local work culture, according to a second immigrant from Indonesia, is extremely rigid and rigid. 8. Vancouver, Canada. The only North American city on the list of the worst cities is Vancouver, one of the largest cities in Canada. According to a survey by Internations, 69% of expats felt that the cost of living was too high and that their household income was insufficient to allow them to live comfortably. Nearly 40% of city dwellers are dissatisfied with their social lives. One expat from New Zealand told Internations that joining an established social group might be challenging. 7. Milan, Italy. The second worst-rated city in Italy is Milan. According to a poll by Internations, moreover 50% of expats reported being dissatisfied with the city's air quality, and 66% of respondents indicated they find dealing with local bureaucracy challenging. Additionally, about 30% of expats stated that they believe their wages are too low. Salary Expert, a website with data, states that the typical yearly wage in Milan is €41,593, or almost $43,000. It's so difficult to get work, and the pay is so cheap, an Iranian expat told Internations. 6. Hamburg, Germany. Another European city that made the list of the worst cities is Hamburg, which is located in northern Germany. This could be because it's hard for foreigners to fit in. According to 81% of poll participants, making friends in the city is difficult for them. One Australian expat told Internations that becoming a friend of any sort takes extremely long. 5. Hong Kong. One of 2 Asian cities in the bottom 10 is Hong Kong, a special autonomous area in Southeast China. More than half of respondents stated they felt constrained, and 46% claimed there is little opportunity for creativity in the city's business culture. In addition, 56% said they were unable to freely express their thoughts. There is also the issue of money. According to a survey of 68% of expats, living expenses are too expensive. According to the South China Morning Post, which used data from Midland Realty, an apartment smaller than 200 square feet costs about 25,512 Hong Kong dollars or $3,270 to rent for a month. Accommodation, healthcare, and international schooling all contribute to the elevated costs, Internations wrote in its city guide. It is considered to be one of the most expensive places for expatriates to live in, it added. 4. Istanbul, Turkey. Istanbul is just one of several European cities rated badly by expats. In the Internations study, 57% of respondents said they had a poor opinion of the Turkish economy, and only 45% said they thought their pay were fair. One Cameroonian survey respondent said, "Finding a job here is quite difficult," adding that the working conditions are subpar, especially when the compensation is taken into account. 3. Paris, France. The majority of foreigners polled claimed that living in France's capital is simply too expensive. Almost 62% answered that the cost of living is too high. In addition, 58% of respondents said it's difficult to make friends in the community, and 23% said they felt uncomfortable in the city. On the plus side, foreigners consider it to be a fantastic place for experiencing culture and nightlife. Internations stated in its city guide that while life in Paris is thrilling and romantic, it is also pricey. In France's most populous city, daily conveniences and housing entail a significant price tag. 2. Frankfurt, Germany. Germany's largest financial center, Frankfurt, came in second on a list of the worst cities for expats to live in. About 70% of the respondents who were expats said that living in Frankfurt was not a good choice because of the high cost of living and pricey housing. The city, which came in bottom place out of 50 locations surveyed, is also the worst when it comes to accessible public transit. According to RMV, Germany's Transportation Association, a monthly pass for public transit costs €97.10 or roughly $138. 1. Johannesburg, South Africa. The largest city in South Africa, Johannesburg, is the least friendly to foreigners, according to a survey by Internations. 39% of respondents claimed there was a problem with public transit, and 25% of respondents said they were concerned with how expensive life in the city is. 62% of respondents to a survey on safety issues for expats said they felt unsafe. Even by South African standards, Johannesburg may be dangerous, according to Internations' expat guide to the city. Although you won't always be in danger, the advice advised that you should be aware of your possible risks. And that brings us to the end of this video on the top 10 worst places to live in. I hope you found this information helpful and that it has provided some valuable insights into the different cities and locations that you may want to avoid. Remember, when it comes to choosing a new place to live, it's important to do your own research and consider all the factors that are important to you, such as crime rates, cost of living, job opportunities, and overall quality of life. Don't just take our word for it. Make sure to check out the statistics and data from reputable sources to get a more comprehensive understanding of each place. If you like this video, like, comment, share, and subscribe please, as this helps grow the channel.